Dave Cooper Live, we connect the industry leaders in the architectural, engineering, and construction space with the people, the products, and the processes to help them build it better. All right, welcome to Dave Cooper Live, where we bring you the people, the products, and the processes to help us all build it better. And today is no different. Today, we showcase an integrated industrialized construction design and delivery method for prefab stairs and balconies, taking a customized approach to prefab steel frame stairs and launching a new patent-pending balcony system. How does this fit into prefab construction? Oh, you got to stay tuned to find out, because we're going to have the CEO of Method Building Systems, Aaron Rutledge, on the show right after a few words from our sponsors. Forward Solutions Group is successfully driving companies to succeed where others have failed. Are you looking to start a factory, optimize your existing factory, streamline your production, or take your team to the next level? Whatever your needs are, Forward has a solution for you. Reach out to Ben at forwardsolutionsgroup.com. Halleck Ltd. has a long history of innovation in cold form steel manufacturing and producing innovative precision roll forming technology for customers throughout the United States and the world. Check out their machine buyer's guide for off-site modular construction or fast build construction with light steel for framing. Go to their website, halleckltd.com. Brought to you by Greatech, one of the largest Autodesk partners globally and software developer of the PowerPack Advanced Design, Advanced Steel, and the StruxSoft product line. The complete solution to automate wood and light gauge steel framing, design, and documentation all the way out to CNC output, model, design, and manufacture with StruxSoft. Learn more at StruxSoftSolutions.com. All right. Again, thank you to all of our supporting members. We cannot deliver all of these informative conversations without you. So please go give them some love, say hello to them, check out what they are doing, because they are supporting all of us in this industry. All right. Without further ado, let's bring Aaron on to the show. Aaron, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, listen, thanks for joining this conversation, and because this is something that we haven't talked about yet. You know, we talk about prefabrication of modular buildings or panelized buildings or mass timber, but there's so much more to the structure that goes into these, and you're doing exactly what they're doing, just in a very niche space to help make our buildings stronger, better, and build them for less money and faster, correct?
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, before we get into all that, Aaron, we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Don't leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital, or we have a family member on, and I bet it'll get embarrassing for you. However, you only got 2 minutes to do it, and then we're hopping into Method Building Systems. Go for it.
All right. Sounds good. So I was born in Colorado. Most of my career, I've kind of focused on either web development and construction. My family had a steel fabrication company. Growing up, I heard, sort of involved in kind of dinner table conversations about the steel fabrication in the industry. And then later on, when I went to college, I got into web development really early, like 1995, when the web was just starting. I did that for a few years, and then I started a company with my father. I'd kind of seen these problems with integration of stair cores in commercial buildings, and we started this company called CoreTech, which we produced this modular stay-in-place forming system for commercial stair towers. And that kind of led me down the path of industrialized construction. This is maybe 20 years ago. Built a lot of automation around how to do that, and that kind of has forged the way to what we're doing today at Method. We're really trying to kind of productize sort of what we call sort of ubiquitous building components in buildings. So rather than building everything sort of in a bespoke manner, really identifying it as a product and developing that product and delivering it to the market.
Right. So, I mean, so the inspiration behind this was from the past experience in the prefab market in the industry. And from there, you started thinking about, and I'm trying to make sure I understand this right, how you can take that knowledge of prefabrication and apply it to balconies and stairs.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, building components in general. So what I learned, through the development of CoreTech, because CoreTech was taking sort of a means and methods delivery system of cores in the field and productizing it, building it as a stay-in-place form in a factory where we were trying to build these things like automobiles. And I found there was just a lot that had to be done first to develop the product and then to adapt the product. And so what I've kind of found is there's just sort of these different hoops of product development that you need to go through in order to bring these kinds of products to market. So after having going through that with CoreTech, we're doing it again now, really just laser focused on stairs and about now balcony systems, and taking that sort of same approach to these new systems as well.
So stairs and balconies have been around forever, Aaron, right? So, I mean, nothing new about how they work or what they do. What challenges are you addressing with your systems to build these? I mean, what are you addressing in the construction industry? Where's the hole at?
I'd say the hole is in the design. So it's, steel fabrication in general is fairly industrialized in the structural steel sense. So beams and columns, we're getting pretty good at taking models and going from BIM to fab with structural steel. Where I see a lot of integration problems is in the design stage, and then always the by others notes that you see on drawings. So like with balcony systems, there's pre-manufactured balcony suppliers out there, but it's always how that ties to the building is sort of by others and by others to figure out. And I think there's a lot of silo design data that's happening that we're trying to address. We're trying to incorporate and allow architects and the design team to integrate our products early, kind of understand how they work and how they fit into the building system. So I think we're building pretty traditional stair and balcony systems, but we're taking a new approach for how we deliver that in the design systems that allow that to be kind of seamless.
So does your approach actually makes it easier for the on-site installation crews to tie into the existing building? Because early on you gave them a systemized approach on how all of this is going to be attached on site once the building's already built versus building it at the same time you're building the building.
Yeah, and I think I think what we're doing is really trying to productize these things, and I think a lot of times when we're trying to build something bespoke every single time, you end up not thinking about the details of how the installer is going to install this thing down the road and all the kind of the fine little details that takes sort of an iteration. So you get feedback from, here we're delivering a product, give us feedback from the install team. What could go better? What did you struggle with? Let's take that information, go back to the next iteration, and continue to sort of evolve the products, from model A, B, C, D, and down the road, down the line.
Yeah. So why don't you walk us through some of the key features and benefits of your balcony systems, and then we're also going to get into your new stair system as well, which is super cool. So I'm excited to talk about that as well. But walk us through what were the major challenges you were faced with in its development, and how did you overcome those challenges? That's different than the traditional way of putting these balconies in place.
Yeah, sure. So I think, what inspired this is we were involved in some kind of traditional balcony projects where they were designed by an architect, and we fabricated, and we had shop drawings that were traditionally detailed, and then we fabricated and delivered to them site. And there were a lot of integration problems with how the balconies attached to the building. And we've kind of found, through talking with installers and people we work with, that every single project that people have been working on, they have problems with balconies and how they integrate with the structure itself. And this is a problem that we've solved with the stairs before. And so we started thinking, well, there's got to be a better way. And a lot of the projects we're working on, we do quite a bit of multifamily, have a lot of balconies. So it's being able to provide both the stairs and the balconies is a whole turnkey solution is advantageous. But it was on those integration pieces. So what we focused was, how do we make these balconies super easy to design and install? And it was that attachment system that we saw as the key problem. So we've got a patent pending on an attachment method that ships out to the job site ahead of time and allows the building to be completely framed and finished, and then the balconies just basically slide on and bolt on.
We have a video. Can I play this video, and maybe you
sure.
can walk us through what we're seeing, and I can pause the video, however?
Yep.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
I love how simplified this is.
Yeah. So this would be for a suspended style balcony. So these brackets would ship out ahead of time and then get installed into the framing. And the rest of the building could be completely cladded. The balcony would ship, just ready to be bolted on. The rails bolt on. The deck panels will just kind of screw on quickly in the field. We've got some attachment lifting points so the balcony can be lifted level.
So I'm not on a scissor lift while a crane's trying to hold this in place, and I'm trying to install it, is what you're telling me.
That's absolutely right. Yep. We have 2 attachment methods. We can either install it if the drywall has not been installed inside the building. It can actually be bolted from the inside, safely from inside the building. If it has been drywalled, then you can bolt it from the outside. So it kind of allows for both means here.
So if I were to stop that and just go back there, can I ask you a question on this real quick? Because one of the things is, when you're framing anything, is having those attachment points exactly where you want it. But it looks like those bottom attachment points are fixed, and the top attachment points, you have a little bit of adjustment for where they need to go. Would that be an accurate comment?
That's right. There's about a 3-inch square slot that's kind of a target for sliding in the brackets. So there's quite a bit of tolerance built into the system to allow to kind of to slot in as needed.
And that's attaching to the bracket that was already there, installed before the exterior wall. So with that, and sorry, I know you're probably going to answer this, but I got all these questions. So that looks like the exterior cladding's already installed. The building's weather tight. And now you're installing yours. So walk me through how this system's working and keeping the water out.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've pretty much eliminated almost all penetration points in the building with this system. So when we shipped out the brackets, it comes with a fiberglass tube that kind of extends itself out from the building. That acts as a conduit for allowing the knife plate to be inserted into the wall. So that can be easily kind of flat. You can caulk around it and flash around it, and then it's a weatherproof now penetration into the building. It also acts as there's very little thermal conductivity between the balcony and the building envelope now. The only that's touching is the very end of these plates. These plates are made of stainless steel, and stainless steel actually has a very low thermal transmission rate compared to like carbon steel or aluminum. So very little heat is actually transferred into the building through that bolt to begin with. So there's almost no thermal transmission between the balcony and the building envelope.
And does it matter how many stories the building is? The system can work as high as you want to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And we've got designs that we have a couple different sort of options here. This is a suspended balcony, which we see probably the most. But we also have a cantilevered style balcony where we ship out a column that goes into the framing envelope, that allows the balcony to be suspended out from the building. Got it.
Walk me through the value of this to a developer, an architect, a designer. You know, why your way versus the old way? What's the value add here? How is it helping me be better?
Yeah, well, from a design perspective, it helps a lot, because normally the responsibility of how that balcony system is going to attach to the building is the responsibility of the design team. So they've got to locate the backing and make sure that there's backing, and that they've got stud packs in the right place, and that the wall system can support the balcony system. So they have to do a lot of the design work up front in order to kind of integrate that balcony into their project. And then, down the road, it becomes a sort of coordination issue with ensuring that, you're going far enough along with finishing the building, but not too far to actually, you've got to cut out spots in the frame, in the finishes, to allow the balcony to then get lag bolted with the traditional system. And then they got to come through later and flash it. And we're kind of saving all of those headaches, kind of. So the balconies, when they're ready for it, they just slide in and bolt on, and you're done.
Got it. And then what about the cost savings? How many balconies can you do in a day typically on a project?
Oh, geez. So on the install side, I mean, we can do, I'd say at least a dozen balconies. It's about as fast as you can swing them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're targeting, the same price as any other, conventional balcony. We don't have a lot of additional costs in our system. It's just, I think we've got a very efficient way of delivering them.
Right. Perfect. So let's talk also about now the stair system you have, because we have the balconies, but you're taking the same methodology on how the stairs are also being built now, correct?
That's right. Yeah. And so I think this was our sort of first kind of experience with these sort of integration problems that we've seen, and sort of the lack of sort of productization that you often see in the industry. We had the opportunity to design our stairs at CoreTech to be integrated with the cores itself. So built a lot of design automation software that allowed and have sort of standardized designs for the stair systems that we knew would work very well with with our core product. And then later we ended up licensing CoreTech to Nucor. Today it's marketed as the Volcraft Ready Core system. And they actually became a customer of ours. And so we supplied stairs to them as method building systems. And we used sort of the same approach that we used at CoreTech, where we really kind of productized how those systems worked. If you follow sort of the conventional way, architects often design stairs are very inefficient. Big heavy channel stringers, coped railings. Sometimes you see wide flange, heavy headers, and not very installer friendly. There's not very many bolt up connections, a lot of field welds, just a lot of opportunities for improvement with how those systems work. So we started with just addressing that, taking kind of what we had done and automated in at Cortec and delivering that as a standalone product for conventional cores. And now we're continuing to iterate that on that and find new ways of delivering stairs for lots of different kinds of building systems.
So let's talk about how these systems fall into offsite construction between the stairs and the balconies. I can see how the balconies work in offsite and they work on traditional construction, right? Because they can be shipped loose, already ready to go, and it helps up the timing. But are you guys working in the offsite industry? Are you working with any modular or prefab builders right now, panelized wall builders on the stairs and with the balconies? Or are you just coming to market with these ideas with them and coming up with processes?
I think most of our projects have been fairly conventional, but that's an area we are very excited about and working towards. The balcony system itself, I think, it lends itself very well to offsite manufacturing, because now what we can do is we can ship out brackets and they can finish the walls, and then our balconies just attach directly to a panelized wall system, which I think is the future for sure. And same with the stairs. We're looking. All of our systems are designed to be bolt together in the field and very quick to install, which is obviously the goal of offsite manufacturing, is be able to take pre-manufactured components and modularize it and bring it to the site for quick installation. And that's the vision that we're working towards, and really want to work with more modular manufacturers in that space doing that.
I know the stair system that you are currently working on. You guys are going through some design work and probably some patent work or whatever on them. But what's so unique about your stairs? Because a lot of stairs are built off site and then brought in, right? So walk us through the difference between what your stairs are versus the others. Because I think this is what's going to surprise people.
Okay. I mean, for one, it's a fully bolt together system. We don't, for even the railing, which you typically see if most stairs manufacturers, then becomes a field weld, those bolt on. We've got a CNC laser. We laser out all of our stringers, and so they're pre-drilled and tapped for the attachment of the railings to the stringers, and then the stairs bolt to the landings, and so the whole system is completely bolt together. What we're looking at now is a whole delivery system that makes the stairwell independent of the core, very similar to kind of what we did at Cortec, but focusing really just on the stair system, because the stair becomes a bottleneck for construction. Often it's often they're going vertical, they got to have scaffolding in place, and they need to get crews on the site as fast as possible ahead of framing. So we've got a system that we're developing that modularizes the stair system for quick stacking and sort of immediate trade access for the stairwell.
Aaron, I can't tell you how many job sites that I have been on where we're filming and we're trying to cover this amazing offsite construction. And here I am trying to, I hope OSHA's not listening, climb ladders with the camera gear in one hand and trying to get up in the stairwell where the stairs should be.
Oh, it's crazy. Yep.
Right. And the workers are working this way as well. And the system that you guys are developing, like you said, it's almost like an elevator shaft. There's stairwell shafts there. And then your system is built to just plug and play. The crane can lift it right in and set it. As the building grows, your stairs grow.
That's absolutely right. Yep. In fact, we can actually do it ahead of the framing, so that that the stairs there ahead of the framing, and there's no weight whatsoever.
Yeah, and I'm thinking in a modular project, right? Because the core would be there, the opening, so you could set the modules, and the stairs could be dropped in and bolted in place right after each module is put down on that stair well unit. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Super cool. Super cool. So, let's talk about the overall, success of the company that you've been at now, right? You guys are growing pretty fast. That accurate?
Yes.
Why are you excited about the prefab modular space?
Oh, I mean, from a society point of view, we've got a lot of buildings that we need to build, to house people, and it's frustrating to be part of an industry that has lagged behind for so long in productivity.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of momentum happening now, and a lot of tools and ideas out there that's going to, be a quantum leap in productivity. And it's fun to be part of that. There's a lot of opportunity for, just spearheading and just revolutionizing the industry, I think. And we're excited to be part of that. And I think you can see it in sort of the modular world and the pre-manufactured world. That's the technology that we need to kind of move the industry forward.
Yeah. So currently, right now, who's the perfect client for you? Is it architects, builders, modular builders, all the above?
I think all of the above. I mean, we really like to be upfront in the design process. That's the fun part for me, is being able to integrate our products early on and work with the design team to solve problems. We're working kind of with some exciting technologies like Autodesk Inform Design that we really like, that I think allows us to participate early on. We like sort of the design assist role, which has traditionally not been where stairs and balconies have been, but that's where we like to be, and we enjoy participating in that. But we like every stage of the game. We really want to be throughout the process, and we see our customers as the installers. We do a fair bit of installers, but the other people who work with our products and install them as our customers as well. So it's fun to kind of work through the whole team, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Who are you working with now? Are you able to give some names of people you're currently working with?
Sure. I mean, so Volcraft, and there's a structural engineering firm that does a lot of design build in Colorado, KLNA. They've been vital team members with us for a long time. They were partners at Cortec, and we do a lot of work with them currently. And then there's other contractors that we're working with.
Sure.
General contractors.
So what's your territory? Say I want to work with you. I say, all right, Aaron, you sold me. I like this idea. It's gonna speed up my process. It's gonna help me maintain quality control throughout my build process. Can I buy from you if I live in New York?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done projects in New York. So we've shipped stairs out there. We found out that we're actually very competitive on the East Coast. It's everything knocks down with our stair system. It's all knocked down. The balconies ship pretty easily. So, and then on site, that doesn't require we probably send out a supervisor to kind of install supervise the work. But
right,
it really just comes down to shipping. So I don't think there's a whole lot of limitations for kind of national distribution.
Got it. Let's go back to your software experience for just a moment, if we can, because you kind of mentioned, even with Autodesk, right? So like Autodesk Inventor specifically, as a driver of industrialized construction, this is a topic that you presented on in the past at some very, very large speaking engagements. Can you tell us a little bit more about that experience and why you're speaking?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been using kind of CAD programs that are more from sort of the manufacturing world for a long time. Cortec, we used SolidWorks for a number of years. And then we switched over to Inventor because it was very clear that Autodesk was excited about a future of using Inventor with the AEC world. So I built a lot of automation on top of Inventor that basically takes sort of the top level parameters of a stairwell and then drives all the pieces and parts. So we can quickly take the rise and runs and the basic stairwell geometry, and then generate all of our manufacturing data and our BIM model right from Inventor, which cuts down an enormous amount on sort of design iterations. Traditionally these things, you then take that design information from, say, Revit, and then you go into a steel detailing program, model it separately, and then bring it back. We're looking for a way to sort of digitally connect those two processes together. A few years ago, there wasn't really any talk of that, but now I think Autodesk is clearly seeing that opportunity and the need for that. So they're building sort of these tools that allow those two systems to kind of work together. And so that's our goal, is to be able to kind of a continuous digital thread from design to fabrication.
So here I am. I'm a modular manufacturer, and I'm just hitting on modular. It seems to make the most sense for this question. And I'm designing this magnificent multi-story, multi-family building or hospital. Will your software plug and play with my software?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, generally, Revit becomes kind of the model for that, and we're looking at so we have ways of getting our inventor models as Revit families that just plug directly into that Revit model, and then kind of they tie sort of digitally.
Sure. What have I left out today, Aaron? I mean, I think this is really cool stuff, and I think it has a significant role in the industry, especially since it's changing so quickly. And like you said, we need more housing, we need more buildings, we need more infrastructure in the country. What have I missed?
I'm not sure. I think it's been a great conversation. I think we really hit on a lot of great topics here. It's
Yeah. Perfect. Well, why don't we go to a couple comments real quick here, and let's see who's out there. So Titus Dare says, great programming this morning. Well, Titus, always a pleasure having you. It's been a while, man. I hope everything's good for you and going well. Yeah, and then we got our good friend Henry Mickelberg out here. Let's see what Henry has to say. So Henry is saying, because I'm a risk averse sort of scaredy cat, I prefer to lump the cores and the stairs into one superstructure solution subcontractor package. Coordination, interface, and risk issues, to be fair. How do you convince me to not do that? Great question.
Well, I don't know if I would need to convince you. I guess it becomes down to how you subcontract out your work and how you divide it. We're happy to play in either. And so we've got kind of a spectrum of offerings, from delivering in a very conventional way, but a more efficient process, to a full system that is, more integrated. So depending on kind of your level of comfort with that process, I think we can kind of fit in. So I don't know if I would try to persuade you from it, but I think value in kind of having people participate early as advantageous, and potentially causing less risk and problems down the road.
So, I mean, would you also say that, using software and designing the way you're designing also helps mitigate risk as well?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think almost all problems that we see with coordination become really data problems, right? I mean, when we have problems with stair details, it's often because there was something missed in the data. There was some ASI issue that, and the model changed, and then there's some issue with that not getting updated in some other model, or from that model to the fabrication process. So I think digitally integrating solves a lot of the problems early on, especially if you have very informed models from the get-go. Then things aren't fuzzy. You can actually see these are where the bolts are. This is where the rail is. It's not just some 2D, representation. This is it. It solves, it gets ahead of a lot of those problems you have down the road.
Well, yeah, I mean, if multiple contractors are all using the same software, within the team for a certain project, then they can all see how it comes together and everybody's on the same page. And as we know, when everybody's on the same page, it goes better on site. In other words, digital twins is what people love to say. They love the digital twin side of this.
Absolutely.
Build it twice, once on the computer and once in the job site. So we recently had Phoenix Modular Elevators on. And it feels like these building components can all be integrated to create a very systematic approach to construction. And I think that's kind of what you're leading up to here, right? We can do it the old fashioned way. We can have all these different trades and contractors that do our balconies and our railings and our decking on the balcony or the stairs. Or you can work with a company like yours and have somebody that actually took everything into account, integrated into the design and development of the product in a way that everybody can see what's happening digitally, so it can all be installed in a timely manner. And Henry, I might add, if you weren't listening earlier, and I think you were, and you're probably going to chew me up on this, but the fact that when you're doing a modular and those stairs can be in right away, I won't have to climb ladders when I come look at your projects, man.
Yeah.
I can just get to that next floor, no problem, and safely. That's my 2 cents. I love it. I love it. Hey, Aaron. So we got another comment that came in here. So Greg Ugaldi says, great job, DC Live. Great info. He's the past chair of the National Association of Home Builders. Always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Greg Ugaldi. And then we have another one here from Ardino62. Hopefully I said that right. He said, hi, Aaron. Thanks for the talk. Very interesting. As a Revit user, how can I edit the staircase to specific needs in my design? Do I need to fill in a lot of parameters, or can I also input my staircase? Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, so that staircases are a particular challenge. I built an add-on years ago actually for Revit that helped model Revit family stair generation that then has all the generates all the parameters necessary for us to fabricate. We're just informed design, I think, is the answer for this. We are adopting it right away for our balcony systems, and our next challenge is to look at how we can use that for stairwell design. So I think informed design allow you to bring in a form that allows you to enter the sort of top level parameters of the stairs, possibly bringing in like floor to floor heights and sort of the driving parameters, and then generate a model that you can then bring into your stairwell. But we're kind of exploring that now. For now, it's probably I can generate RFAs or an IFC that you can then bring into your Revit model for coordination.
Awesome. Thanks for that question. Currently, you guys are building with metal, steel, for instance. But what about other building materials? Can this type of process, or the software be used to apply this to concrete, 3D printing, timber? Are there other applications, and are you working on other applications?
Yeah, we are. We're focused really on the stairwell itself. We've tried to make our system sort of agnostic to the system, to the structure that's going, or very adaptable to different kinds of construction types. So whether it's cast in place or a masonry core, or we've done mass timber, or it's a light gauge. We have different kinds of solutions, or we can use sort of a system that's divorces itself really from those integration points. The systems that we've developed internally are very agnostic also to the building systems that we can model with it. So it's really about taking parameters and then using those parameters to drive other little parameters. I could get really geeky about it, but it's designed to be sort of agnostic to building systems and solve sort of that problem for any kind of building system. Yeah,
for sure. For sure. Hey, Miles Biggs, man, what's happening? Best marketing person in the world. Also used to be the past CEO of a modular building company. Good to see you, Miles. 4 years later and still going alive. Dave is the king of consistency. Thank you. Appreciate you very much, Miles. And by the way, that guy's doing like these 100-mile marathon thingamajiggers now. I don't know. Must be nice to be young, right, Aaron?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, listen, Aaron, we're just about out of time here today. I think this was an amazing conversation. And I want to remind everybody, all these conversations, we cannot deliver without the help of all of our supporting members. Another one, which you saw in the intro, is Cobalt Creed and their high velocity, small duct heating and cooling systems. So without all of these folks, we can't deliver all of these innovative conversations. So, Aaron, please give a big shout out to all the people that allow us to take the time to bring companies on like yours. It's all about sharing the message, sharing the word. Now people know you exist, and you're going to let other people know other people exist. And by gosh, we're going to build it better. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Dave. This has been awesome. I love what you're doing here. And this is the kind of conversations I think we need to be having more of. Thank you.
Yep. You're very, very welcome. Don't go anywhere. I'll come back to you after the end of the show. And for the rest of you out there, guess what? Got a couple more days to build it better. It's only Wednesday, and we're getting things done today with Method Building Systems. Aaron, you have an awesome day. I'll see you after the outro, and the rest of you, we'll see you Monday. Bye now. What an amazing show. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us to continue to bring all of these innovative conversations to all of you out there. Please visit them, see what they have to offer you. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring that bell. It would mean the world to us. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching.